Alright, so, I read in a book that there's these three. This is basically just the familiar questions. Like, where do you find them? How do you befriend them? How do you make them your familiar? The blink foxes. So that's up to you.
So, are you actually going to ask the questions, or?
Oh, yeah, Nim goes, I read about a blink fox in a book. Where do you find them? How do you befriend them? And how can I make one a familiar?
And Zanzibar is just gonna like blink his eyes for a few seconds, and then he's gonna rub his forehead. Alright, give me a second, I gotta process that. She really does ask like simple questions, and then she gets to that complex stuff, and it's just rapid fire. This is really just this child.
Oh yeah. Like, actually pretty much all the time.
You know, I can't even say that that's an annoying quality. I just was not expecting this. Oh, let's see. Blink foxes. There's a few different varieties, I know. Some are on the mortal plane, some are in the celestial plane, and there's a few different variants scattered through some of the elemental planes. But whether or not a biologist would consider them all part of the same species, that's a debate for another day. I could work on gathering a fairly comprehensive list, but you're gonna have to give me some time on that. As for making one a familiar, that is a process that, well, certainly we would have enough time while we're waiting for everything to go nuts. And what was the last one we had? Where are they? How to make a familiar? You asked one other?
What's the best way to talk with them?
The process of making a familiar, you basically will teach them how to understand you. It's actually part of some of the fundamental mancies. Golomancy is one. Elemancy is the process of making elementals, and that's much more less known. Usually covered, as I understand, in most Golomancy books. Then there's the general familiar covens, which I know a few people have written. As for all of that, well, I'd be teaching you directly, so forget any textbooks you would have read already.
Damn, Nim read a bunch.
Not that they won't be useful, but, you know, wild magic opens the door for a lot more simpler things. We could definitely get you a familiar before you learn your arcane expertise. Might actually work for the teaching on the point. Yeah, that should answer it. My God, you ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, she does.
Look, I'm so tempted to come up with 8 more on the spot.
Go ahead. You can. He did say he never tells a lie, and he did say he'll answer any and every question. You can hurt Zanzibar mentally by just constantly asking questions.
No, because if I hurt Zanzibar mentally, I also hurt everyone else mentally, because they have to sit through this.
Be the best form of murder hobo I've ever heard of.
Death by boredom.
I can just stick the gun in my back of my mouth.
I should have gotten the silence spell.
Oh,
Be like, alright, no more talking. We're either leaving and doing what we need to do, or we're all just gonna sit here in uncomfortable silence.
No, Nim's expertise in Arcana!
I mean, Samson's just actually been thinking this whole time.
Speaking of,
Scary.
didn't you mention a little while ago that you wanted friends? Plural, yes.
Nim said familiar, but that's pretty much the same thing to her.
I believe at one point you said Nim wants to make friends. Or something to that effect.
Like, how long ago?
You know,
I
7
think
or 8
last
sessions.
session. I think last session, but you also.
No, so I remember she said familiars and she wanted it to be fluffy.
Oh, familiars. Well, that would be what he's getting at.
Ah. So did you say familiars or friends? Because if he said friends, then we'll correct him.
If you said familiars, then he will have said familiars.
Okay. Him said yes.
Sorry, taking a drink of water.
It's chill, fam.
And he'll pull up a regular stool. Oh, by the way, when he got out of that armchair, it kind of went back to nothing. I never got a chance.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, okay, good. But he'll pull up a stool in front of Nim and sit. Well, having multiple familiars can tend to be strenuous and taxing. The bond between master and familiar is strong, so I can't necessarily advise, though being a wild magic user, you have more than enough of a backlog of magic to be able to do it. There are easier ways to get what you want.
Don't worry, Nim pays her taxes.
What?
You said it'd be taxing. Nim pays her taxes.
Oh, no. Oh, Shay never change.
If I had to think about that pun, you guys had to hear it.
You know what? That's fine.
That's fine.
I can live with that.
I'd say at the most, you'd probably, as you are now, as he's kind of just gonna look at Nim, I'd say you'd potentially be able to hold one creature as a familiar. And I say that because a blink fox is pretty big. Not massive or huge, mind you, but, you know, like the size of a dog.
And they're fluffy.
Yes, they are fluffy. And as he's kind of just gonna start rubbing his eyes, just like, you know, very much giving off that energy of, my God, she really is just a child.
Yeah.
Like their whole ass just sent a child to do this.
Thought he understood.
Hey, Zanzibar.
Hey, Samson!
How are you with healing people from a distance? Is that something you can do, or do you need to be there? How's that go?
Can you heal people emotionally? Just asking for reasons.
Well,
I don't think even Zanzibar can fix Nim.
I wasn't talking about him.
she's a project and he likes those.
Who phrase it like that?
To get expertise in Arcana, first you must finish your therapy.
Zanzibar's gonna teach him how to clear her chakras like that guru did for Hang. He's just gonna feed her banana onion soup.
What are you talking about? It says you have to let go of any emotional attachments, and Nim doesn't have any of those left, so...
Well, you have to first build emotional attachments to let go of.
No.
Or else it's not as powerful.
Jeez.
What the fuck? That's so fucked up.
Hey, listen, I'm not the guru, I don't make the rules.
Anywho, oh god, what were we even talking? Oh yeah, Samson was asking about healing people from a distance. I mean, if you could be more specific.
Healing from a distance, how is that not specific?
I'm here, regardless of whatever that swine-headed king said. I'm here because I need money to help heal my mom. That's my sole motivation. And you being the great and powerful Zanzibar, I figure curing one sick lady is well within your realms of handling it. But I'm gonna suggest that I doubt you wanna teleport to some room in Varesis and go heal someone who's never heard of you, potentially never heard of you, and probably will never meet you.
So essentially, what you're saying is if I help you get your mother in good health, you'll help me.
I'll do whatever you ask.
Anything. No holds barred.
That's something you should actually say no to this time.
One other thing.
One other thing.
Can you get me, like, one of those owl bear eggs? Those little critters are so cute. I want my own.
So,
Produce an invasive species.
Yes.
actually, owl bears are common in a few other countries. They are common in Ardia, which was Celeste's home country, or adopted home country. There's a few that there are some in Glotnia, and
I take it they're not as domesticated as they would be here.
no.
Look at how powerful you'd be if you did, though.
I would be.
My owlbear's trained.
Haha, who's the ranger now?
Yeah, hello, who is the ranger now? Bam, bam.
I wear the green. I talk to the animals. I have the firepower.
I paint with all the color of the wind.
Look at me. I am the ranger now.
I am the ranger now.
Man, all I need is Hunter's Mark, and I'm the ranger.
The bot died.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I killed the bot because it jammed up.
Ah.
So... Un momento. I hope I can type words right. I can type words right. There we go. So, just to make sure we're clear, you help me anything, everything, no holds bar. I work to make sure your mother is well. At the very least, I'm not promising I'm going to make her mortal. She'll live her natural life and nothing more.
I also
At
don't
least-
want her to get involved in this, but I feel like that's more dependent on what's to come next.
I won't promise that. Though I will say I'll make it my business not to have her thrown in the middle of anything. So that'll cover no hostage situations. So she'll live her natural life as far as I'm concerned. And you get an owlbear egg. Do I have
Not
that?
not like for breakfast to raise.
Yeah, to raise. But I'm going to get you the egg. If you kill that egg, it has nothing to do with me.
I would never.
How is Samson gonna keep a giant egg warm?
Hey, Calla!
Actually,
I'm not even saying
Can I
that.
get that coat?
I'm not even saying.
No!
I'm not even saying that you would kill it. I'm just saying I procure you the egg, and I make sure your mother lives her natural lifespan, whatever that may be.
What?
Am I right? Is that all I'm agreeing to?
Natural lifespan, baby owl bear, and you got yourself a merrymaker.
And at that, he's kind of just gonna fly off the stool up in front of you, and you're just gonna see his hand extended out. And when you look up at his face, there's gonna be his eyes are gonna look like they're glowing, and his smile is gonna be toothy and from ear to ear. Well then, let's make a deal.
And here I thought that you don't do those.
I don't do contracts.
Ah, so you're a verbal agreement type of person.
Yeah, we're gonna spit in our hands and shit.
I mean, Samson could spit into his hand to go for the shake. But yeah, no, he's extending a handshake.
Oh, Samson spit into his hand.
Ah, an old Solarian tradition I'm almost glad to see survive.
Still gross.
Ew.
And
Easily imagine he goes to spit and it's just a bullet that shoots through his hand. He's like, oops.
He just does a hearty spit into his hand and he clasps his hand around yours. You can feel the age and like the... He's got that old person skin on his hand. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say his spit's just sad.
Oh yeah, no. I was expecting
His
an
spit is
unpleasantly detailed description of their spit merging.
Yeah, no, please don't.
No, he just spits into his hand and wraps it around Samson's, and you can feel that his hand is very much like an old person's hand. The skin is not taut.
What a truly awful tradition.
Does Yala actually say that?
No, but she's thinking it because in her place that would make your hands freeze together.
Oh, good thing we're in not that place.
Not less gross.
And as you separate...
Oh no, it's 100% disgusting.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
No, Samson's got a Samson. And as your hands...
It's a cultural tradition.
And as your hands separate, Zanzibar will, with the same hand, snap his fingers. And he'll just prestidigitize your hands clean.
Ah, good, because that shit's gross.
What, you think he's just gonna wipe his hand on his sleeve or some shit?
No, you gotta lick it.
Ah, yes, Zanzibar's just gonna stand there going, tasty! Aren't you going to
Anyway,
hold your
ignoring that
hand?
entire statement, they shake hands, what happens next?
He prestidigitizes their hands, you know, using the same hand as they separate.
I think she means can we move away from the hand thing?
Yeah.
Samson's gonna notice his hand is like remarkably much drier than any other time he's done it. Huh. Lemonson.
Oh, you said that on purpose! Purposely picked lemons tonight.
I'm so glad I didn't hear, so anyway. What happens after their hands are clean and Samson realizes that? Next.
Yes, I was waiting for Samson to, you know, want to say something, which he did, because the next thing was going to be turning around and getting to Nim and letting her ask more questions, but patience is a virtue.
I don't have it.
I can
Yeah.
tell.
Now, I
Patience
know
and
you're...
room.
From every indication you've given us, I know you're good on your word, but, is there any way I could get a little bit more of a, guarantee that it's been done?
What do you mean?
Can I see her?
Well, she's not going to be well right now. Give me some time. But in due
Alright.
time, I promise you, and he's going to bow, I will see to it that your mother is cured of whatever ails her. All good things come in time.
So, this whole time, Samson's been a little on edge, but after hearing all that, he's just gonna, pop up on a stool and just put his feet up on the desk. Well, that's all my business.
Fair enough. You, tiny child! Nim! Ask more questions! We covered the familiar.
Nim died somehow.
Oh man.
We covered your familiar. We covered your expertise. Do you want to be able to defend yourself?
Well, I prefer not to be in a situation where I have to, but if I have to, yes.
Well, normally I would suggest a plethora of spells that would cause you to be a force of nature, but, well, and he's kind of just going to pick her arm up by the wrist and then just drop it. Unless I'm about to start instructing you on push-ups and sit-ups, I think your constitution is a little leaving to be desired.
My
And Nim's
constitution
weak.
is fine.
I drink alcohol.
Fire.
Does Nim actually say that?
Yes, Nim says my constitution is fine.
Yeah, Nim's weak.
Do I need to hand you something heavy to hold?
And I would politely refuse.
You politely refuse?
Yes.
Then my point stands.
I'm being bullied.
We all are.
There are.
I don't know. I've
Remember
never
the
gotten
game.
this good of a deal out of being bullied. I'll tell you that.
He got bullied with a deal.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
Anyway.
There's a few.
Now, Bobby, when you get up to Zanzibar's tower, never ask him for a contract.
Whoa! It's okay, Dad. Zanzibar made me a contract.
It's okay, Dad, as Bobby just starts shooting Eldritch blasts into the sky.
It's okay, Dad. I know power and kill. Whoa!
Whoa!
That's my purse. I don't know you. Power and kill. Whoa. My God, it's even worse than the animes. Anyway, the trials of Hank Hill aside. There's a few options. We could teach you how to be an elementalist, which, you know, not great. Again, considering that I think a strong gust of wind could steal your life away. Or I could teach you Golomancy, and then you could just make friends. And considering this one here is always carrying 2 bags of holding, you could probably store an entire army in his back pocket. That could be useful. Oh, I can't remember. Did you guys ever bring up the fact that you had the golem cores with you?
No. I wasn't going to when Rhino was here, and then when Rhino left, we were talking about a more important thing. Actually, at that mention, Samson's going to pull out the big golem core and then start spinning it on his finger like a basketball.
It is... roll me a strength check. Because that is a 2-foot diameter crystal. So we gotta see if your finger can hold up to it. And you gotta roll me a 15.
It can hold the weight of his sins when he pulls the trigger. Why can't it hold up a basketball-sized crystal?
Dang.
You'll excuse me, I have to go cry. Alright. Woo!
So, you managed to do that. And you said you mentioned something? Because his back is to you.
No, I said at the mention of the golems. Samson's gonna pull it out and just start doing that. Just spinning it on his finger like a basketball.
So, you're not getting his attention?
Oh,
Just
no,
trying
I'm
to be
just...
clear with it.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it out, at the mention of Golomancy, but that's about it.
Fair enough. Wait,
So does he? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't notice because Samson's not trying to get his attention.
No, he's just got his feet up, basketball in his hand.
Yeah, this giant crystal basketball.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, there's a few ways we could start with that. We could start teaching you how to craft elementals, which most people don't cover, but hey, you're a wild magic sorcerer. You want to learn, sorceress. You want to learn how to control the wild magic? That's a great way to start, kid.
Golems are cool.
Why does he sound like the uncle that doesn't know how to bond with his niece, but is trying really hard?
Because he is. Meet Uncle
Uh-huh.
Zanzibar.
Uncle Zanzibar.
The only
Uncle
thing-
Zantax! Uncle Zantax! Look what I got on my test!
Yeah, I mean, we established they're related.
I don't remember when, but
It was a joke.
oh, yeah. The only family that actually cares about Nim.
Is the one in this room.
Yeah, Yala.
And only Hala.
Yes.
No one else.
And
No
I'm
one else.
trying to think of another option.
Yeah,
Let's see,
Hala,
Elementalist.
under no circumstances, would ever do anything to hurt Nim. Not a single circumstance. At all.
Actually, now that I think about it,
Not one.
if you learn how to be an elementalist, I could probably teach you how to create elementals. But fitting Golomancy then on top of that would be too much. You don't have that kind of time. But if I teach you how to make elementals, you kind of get the elementalist. But that would serve for Golomancy. So really, either way, it would probably be a good idea to learn how to make elementals.
Alright, that sounds fine with me.
And then you can decide whether or not you want to make big punchy things like what's out there, or you can
Yeah, that's
decide
cool.
if you just want to conjure storms, which, you know, is fun and all, but the impact of watching people get torn to shreds is, well, I prefer to do that with my hands.
That is the single most concerning thing that's ever been said to Nim's face. I'll stick with the storms.
But golems are so cool.
And what makes you so sure about, and as he kind of looks at Samson, he's
The
gonna
fuck
see
are
the
you
core,
doing?
and he's gonna just stare at him like, where?
Huh? Oh, what, this?
We fought a golem.
Yeah. A golem kinda was after us. And, we took him out. Kept the core. Didn't know what I was gonna do with it.
Gonna shoot some layups, as the kids say. Like LeBron James.
And he's
I'm just
gonna...
I'm just imagining Samson as the kid from Kazam.
But
I
he's
don't know
gonna
what that
walk
means.
over and he's gonna, like, not snatch, but he's going to grab the core from you. And he's just gonna hold it.
And then yeet it.
And he's gonna look over at Nim. And Nim's just gonna see that evil wry grin come across his face.
I don't like that Nim's in this equation, because Nim's not gonna get any hints he's dropping.
Actually, maybe it would be a good idea to teach you how to do Golomancy. At least in part.
Did you want to start off with these, and then he'll pull out the two other ones from
I
the
thought it was
bag of
3.
holding? No, I gave, we had 7. I had 4, and you had 3, and I gave up 2, so I kept 2.
And Zanzibar's gonna look over his shoulder and snap his fingers, and the 2 smaller golem cores are just gonna come out of your hand and plop into his.
Huh.
You're already proving useful, Samson. And he's gonna hand the 2 smaller cores to Nim.
Nim will take them.
Well, looks like you're going to start understanding golems a little early.
Still kind of want to learn the storm thing. That's just me, but whatever.
Now, not to
You can.
rain on your parade, but, carrying those things out in the open is kind of what got us attacked by that golem in the first place.
I feel like
I
he
mean-
knows this.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I have lived here for a very long time. And without looking at Nim, he's just gonna move his finger in the air, and you're gonna see 2, like, rings of light and writing. Basically, like, you know, arcane runes floating in the air. Surround each tiny core, and then they're just gonna lock onto them and almost etch the surface. And now they won't.
Ah, cool.
Neat.
Yep. Preservation tagging, complete arcane runes. No material components required.
Oh, shizzy hizzle hizzle. That's great.
And he's gonna then walk across the room, hand the bigger core to Samson, and say, I'll be right back. I have to go fetch things for her. And
Do I need another check to go back to spinning it?
yeah.
Aww. At that point, he's not gonna bother then.
Okay. Why? You don't want to risk dropping it? But that's the
He's
fun.
starting
No.
to get tired.
It was cool when he was doing it the first time.
Fair enough.
How's Hyala doing?
She's, you know,
Yowling.
yeah. That's the most accurate way to describe her mood.
And as he goes over to the door and opens it, he's just gonna look over at Hyala. There's surely one thing you want. And he's
Still
just gonna...
believe.
She literally said the one thing she wanted, and he's like, "That's stupid! Why would anyone want that?"
But he says that.
Yeah.
She's just gonna say, nothing you can give me.
I beg to differ. And he's just gonna close the door.
I mean, you could start off with that little ice gem. That'd be nice, right?
Oh, he already left. He closed the door. Unless you're talking to Hyala.
Yeah. Just to kind of like nudge her into deciding on something.
She's just like,
What? He gave it to you in the first place.
Because she bought it.
yeah,
Technically.
No, she didn't.
that was
Technically.
paid for, is what
By the
happened.
king.
And he got to charge the king for it.
Aww.
Yeah, but no, she's like, there's nothing you can say that would make me want to be indebted to that.
I almost said, what's debt? But that'd be stupid.
That'd be really funny.
It's what Nim's father's enemies have. To him.
It's money and
Cash
Money
int. You've got cash and then you've got cash int.
Passion.
Ah. Ugh. Nim's gonna learn things. Nim is excited.
About debt.
What?
About debt.
How? Look, you
I'm
guys seem like you
charging
agree.
interest now. Time for you to learn what interest is. We'll start at 200%.
That's not a fair deal.
yes, you have to kill twice as many people.
Kings.
That's all I gotta do? Oh, that'll be easy.
Yeah, but almost there's nothing you want to actually go into while he's gone. Then, just about as soon as he left, he'll come back. And he'll just be carrying with him a small tome. And he'll walk over to Nim and say, "Here! This should help you start off." And I gotta find it. There it is.
Is it heavy?
It is a book.
Yeah, but is
Oh,
it
No, you said tome. That does not imply light. I've
Books
never
can be
seen a
real
small tome.
hefty.
Yeah, how much does it weigh? Just tell me that.
Enough that Nim can carry it.
Alright, I use Mage Hand
so
to take
it's
it
a
out of his hand.
pamphlet.
Not handing it to your mage hand. He's handing it to you.
Damn it! Ugh! Why does
You
he
said
expect me
not-
to carry anything? He's like, a wind could knock you over, but take this heavy fucking book.
It's not a heavy book if you can carry it.
Anyway,
you
so
can't
Nim
take
takes
every
the
single
tome.
thing that I say that literally.
I'm a
Shake
very
hands.
literal person, and it is not intentional.
That's fine, but if everybody takes everything I say so literally, then I can't speak. Which is a
I mean,
problem.
technically you can speak.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I'm gonna shoot myself today. I'm gonna
You're not
blow
allowed
my
to.
brains away. I'm gonna shoot
That's a
myself
Samson thing.
today.
Yeah. Oh,
And he's
I'm
not
gonna
allowed to
take
do that.
Samson's guns away. Gonna
No,
put it
not
in my
that.
mouth. Gonna swallow the bullet. Gonna feel my brains get light.
Meat.
Ugh.
So Nim will take the book and look at it. What color is it?
It's the color of the book that should now be in your journal.
Oh, Term of Burning Hams. I thought I read that wrong.
Steamed ham.
I thought this was gonna say burning hands, and I was gonna be like, why would you hand him a book that burns hands?
Tome of Burning Hands.
Toma burning Zanzibar.
So yeah, he hands you a spell book containing the
Eek.
spell Burning Hands.
Okay.
And I suppose Samson and Hyala can say something because Shay's currently reading that, which she should be.
Bearsy?
All I heard was you say
Basic
Bearsy.
Pigs of Fire.
Yeah, no, Samson is trying to think of names for his owl bear.
Samson
Nim,
Jr.
Nim asked while reading, can I choose the color of the fire pigs?
Samson, son?
I don't care. Practice changing the color. What you need to worry about is
Son.
the feel of them.
Sing Sing.
The feel of pigs
Sing
on
Sing.
fire?
No. That spell is if you can't figure it out for yourself, that spell is basically an entry-level form of elementalism.
Alright.
You're creating something that is akin to an elemental, though it lacks the sentience of it. By using and learning a spell like that, you can focus on the feel of the magic, what it means to control them. As you learn more, then you can start giving them sentience, which will allow you to start moving up to making elementals. When you start learning how to make elementals, the only real difference between a golem and an elemental is one has a physical core that binds it to existence, the other one is temporary and passing. When you start learning how to make golem cores, which is why I gave you those two to study, then you can start making golems. Somewhere along the way, you should get powerful enough with your magic to start conjuring things like storms. All of this will go into learning how to control magic as well as be an expert in it. Basically, welcome back to school, child.
I'm still in school though.
Yeah, all of us are. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Well, I can skip a few classes.
Well,
And have.
consider this your advanced placement. Congratulations.
I use prestidigitation to make confetti.
And for the first time since being here, you're going to see Zanzibar actually choke back a laugh. You know, I'm starting to like you. That could be a very good or a very bad thing.
Yeah, I killed the last person I liked.
That's not true.
Just one of the last people.
Alright, so how do I practice the spell though? Is that like an Arcana check, an Intelligence check? Like what?
at the bottom, there's a listed form for you to use. Because I know that
Well,
you actually...
yeah, I see that, but I was asking, he's like, this is like the stepping stone, so at what point do I step past this tome? That was a bit of a joke.
You want to ask him that question? Because the
Sure.
answer might be better in session. So you ask him, like, so how do you go about practicing this?
Well, I know in character you actually just cast the spell to practice it. So Nim would ask, at what point do I know when I'm ready to move past summoning pigs?
When you're capable of casting that spell normally, i.e. at what, is regarded as a 6th level, he air quotes and rolls his eyes, you should have enough magical aptitude to start figuring out how to conjure elementals.
Ah, yes. So, hold on a second.
Level 11.
Level 11. Alright. Neat. I'm gonna name the pigs Pork Chop and Pork Chop Jr.
What if Pork Chop Jr. was older? That'd be funny.
That's the joke.
I mean, you're already naming animals after the food that they produce, so...
I know.
And these aren't even full animals, they're just like fire in the shape of pigs.
Yeah.
Oink.
Also, you have more than 2 of them, if I remember. You have up to 3.
And then the last one will be Joey.
The last one just doesn't have a name.
It's Joey.
The squirrel?
Yeah.
No, a
Sure.
pig.
As
The
funny as
squirrel?
that is, I think it also would have been funny. It was just like, what about the last one's name? Oh, he doesn't get one. He was a bad boy. It's a conjure spell.
Panak.
So, that covers 2 out of the 3. Then he'll just look at Yala. There is not a single thing specifically that you want from me.
Kiala hisses.
How many times has she answered no to this question?
He's nothing if not persistent.
She kind of needs that cold stone.
Do not make deals for me, Nim. But
As
anyway.
an elemental who's it, can't Nim make one of them, like, cold rock?
You mean an ice stone?
Yeah, that. Do those come in other flavors?
I mean, if you want to consider Ignis Stone a variant, but also no. Just like creatures can have natural magic, like you and everyone else in this room does, and anything out there does, there are also examples of minerals and non-organic matter that can have magical properties innate. So, unless she has divine creation abilities, no, not really. And a fundamental understanding of the chemistry and atom composition, but that's for people that actually study science.
That's not me.
That's not most people.
My job was to get the nerds into the rooms where they had things that they could study and learn about. Alive.
Yes, a bodyguard to have people exhume your own culture and then ship it out of your country.
Yep, basically.
Yep. And in case you're wondering, not sorry about what I did either. Just gonna
yes,
be
because it's
completely
implied that.
transparent about that.
Wait, you sorry about what now?
You know, Solaris, then the remnants of Solaris, then basically turning it into what Varesis is now by action of basically destroying your ancestor civilization. I'm not apologizing for that. They asked for it.
They made sure I had a job.
You know, I'm starting to like you too.
Listen, I just do what I gotta get done. A simple man.
Simple man, simple plan.
Hey, you got any booze around here?
Simple man, incredibly complex plan.
You guys stand there. I'll go over here. Seems simple.
Yes, because we're ignoring literally every other step.
That's how the simple people do it. Oh, no.
So, what was Kiala about to say before Samson said something?
That's a good question.
So, what does Kiala gonna ask for?
What do you truly desire? I mean, does he return to pushing the issue? Because she will just let it drop if the conversation got directed elsewhere.
I mean, he's still been looking at you if he's not looking at Samson or Nim.
Jeez.
This man is nothing if not persistent. It's
Alright.
He's got the time to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she'll kind of give a sigh. A very exasperated sigh. And just be like, fine. If you're truly persistent on providing something, could that something perhaps be in the future? After your task? Simply, you'll owe me. Simply asking for a delay in what I request.
Depends on what you're asking.
I think she doesn't know yet.
No, she literally does not want anything from this asshole. Like, she said that multiple times.
Listen, if y'all wants to work for free...
She has a reason. She's not gonna say that reason out loud. At least, not here.
So is she just ending off? Because the last thing he said was, it depends on what that is.
Well, she's like,
Ask me later.
yeah, the point of the deal is that I have nothing to ask. I can't see the future, you know.
Just like an IOU.
You know, I'm starting to get the impression that you may not even realize when you're not exactly being truthful with yourself. I gave Amethyst a book from her father that was clearly tagged and allowed me to know pretty much anything about her. I didn't
And then she
know
almost
half
needed
the...
it to the ocean.
I didn't know all of the details about her contract until after she was holding on to that book. The same thing happened with Nim. And you well know that the necklace I gave you was also part of that little item set. You genuinely don't think that I know pretty much everything about you. The only one I don't know that much about is the one lying on the table, and this one, as he points to Samson, because honestly, I didn't really care. Now, maybe, but I don't think I have to do that anymore.
Towards me.
Samson is gonna like put like his hand up as if he goes to speak, and then just be like, he's kind of got a point.
And he'll just
So
gesture.
fucking rude.
But he will genuinely, as he's talking, walk up to Hyala. So in
She's
case...
under the table. Don't forget.
No, is she still under the table?
Oh no, she's moved.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I thought so. I just can't see under her token, so I didn't know if it was an extra good space. So unless we're not being completely clear, in case the subtle hints didn't come across, I need a location, a description, a person, a place, even a thing, and I can move one to the other, or any combination that you could think of. I literally, right now, could solve one of your biggest hang-ups because I just can. Because I have that kind of power, and you're so stubborn with yourself that you don't even want to grasp it. I can literally send you right back to Katma. I could put her in your arms.
Don't touch your daughter.
Her ears are gonna flatten at that.
All you gotta do is say yes.
Never in my life before have I wanted someone to say no out of spite more than I do.
It'd be such a power move. But my God, I don't know if y'all.
Okay.
I don't. It would be such a power move. I will admit it. That's kind of why I'm setting it up as I see it. But also, I don't know if Kiala could physically stand that much emotional strain.
She's pissed.
Oh, I know.
I don't. She's not being convinced by this. He's just making her dislike him more.
Dislike is rising.
But yeah, she'll respond to that comment with she will like.
I didn't hear what you said.
That's because I forgot what I said.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Don't we have things to do first?
Sure. If you want to get right into the thick of working, that's fine. But I would have thought you might have wanted to visit her. Considering up to this point, you've never been given a choice, I figured the best way to get what I want was to provide everyone in the room a choice. But if you don't want a choice, if you want to continue to just do what you're told, that's fine.
This is the wrong group of people to tell that to. This is like the people who just do what they're told most of the time.
Literally no, but whatever.
Well, you get told, I'll pay you if you do XYZ. And you're like, works for me.
Well, yeah, because it fits with his goal.
Yeah.
Nim's just told, hey, do XYZ. And she's like, it's a thing to do.
Yeah,
Y'all's like...
Nim's got no agency. Samson does have agency.
Simple.
But
simple. Very simple.
As long as it goes along with his goal, he's fine with it. If he can say to himself, this goes along with my goal, he's fine with it.
It's true.
And Kiala,
Y'all's got familiar obligations.
I'm actually not... I don't think I know yet what Hyala's radar is. I think I'm still trying to figure that out.
I think everyone is.
Why does Hyala do things for Hyala?
Usually because she has to. I mean, her whole life is like, this just is what my life is, so I'm not going to dream about anything else.
Now, you're taking the time to teach Nim all the magic that you can pass down to her. You're offering Hyala to go back to her home and give her what she wants. You really need everyone to head back to Everengal and deliver the sword?
That would be most beneficial, yes. Sends a message. Besides, there is a good chance that doing all of this will place a target on your backs. Whether you're there or whether you're not. Because they know they sent out 5 people. I can't account for every variable. I just can account for the most important ones. And if I can keep you all in the same place, then I can pretty much make sure that you don't, well, die.
Well, what I'm thinking is we already got 2 people gone. What's 2 more in the eyes of everyone else?
2 more what? I'm sorry?
Nim's got a place where she can learn all the magic she can, and if Hyala ends up going to the her little mountainous region where no one knows where the heck she is, she's as off the radar as possible. And if, well, I got what I want, so if someone's gonna have a target on their back, might as well be me.
I can't believe he's back on this shit.
I'm always gonna pull this!
Literally! I'm about
Yes!
to throw my computer across the room! Ah!
Antagonist!
Wow!
Not to the...
So, that literally makes no sense, because Nim can change shape. Why the fuck wouldn't you just have Nim as a different shape do it?
Well, because, like, they're not going to accept anyone who wasn't already sent there.
He's
They
gonna
send
just...
They send out 5 people and some random 6 comes back.
Shit can happen. What if they were polymorphed? Fuck you.
And he's kind of just gonna stand up straight and start rubbing his head. Oh, the machinations of a simple mind. Samson, they sent 5 people to die. I want to use 5 people. Now, as it stands, I already lost the Eladrin and the Dragonborn. And really, losing the Eladrin was a big blow. Because, well, now I have to figure out a way to explain to her father, when I do eventually get him, why his daughter's dead. That's going to be a fun conversation. I've got my
Sometimes
own...
people live, and then they stop.
Especially since I have to explain to him that she ended up the puppet, the toy, and the executed plaything of the very god that she ended up serving, which already has enough implications. I've got my own hang-ups about having to deal with that pile of dead, deceased idiocy. Why in the name of all that is, do you think I would want to give up a tabaxi that comes from a place with good fighting skills, a human that has potential, and a changeling that has wild magic? Why would I want to get rid of even more of what I already from a pile that I've already lost 2/5 of?
So Nim wasn't actually listening this whole time until she heard changeling. And Nim continues to pretend not to listen.
Samson's just going to pop up out of his seat and keep an eye on Hyala.
Like, really, my simple little mind. We've got human, tabaxi, Eladrin, Dragonborn, and Changeling, and I lost Dragonborn and Eladrin, and now I'm just left with the Changeling, the human, and the tabaxi. Why would I then want to sell off the tabaxi and the Changeling for just having the human? Why would I want to do that?
Ella's gonna walk up to Zanzibar.
Samson is going to walk up to Nim and just keep his back to her.
What do we do?
All
Nothing.
due respect. Shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, that's even better!
This was not what I expected.
Oh,
Samson says to himself.
Yeah, no, and then she's going to look over at Samson and be like, and you are not going alone.
it's about time time it had a backbone.
Gala, you had a family to go back to.
And I will. For now. And she's gonna stop.
For now, what?
For now, I have a family right here.
Aww. That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said.
To Nim, ever.
That wasn't a nim, but that was about the group.
Oh.
You've done something very rare, very powerful. You've left Samson at a loss for words, so he's just kind of like tip his hat down and just like avoid your gaze for a bit.
Aw, you made me blush.
Oh.
But yeah, she's gonna look back to Zanzibar. I will return where I'm needed in my own time. For now, we have something to do, and I'd rather it be done.
Fair enough. So you agree to do what I ask.
I do.
And that's all I needed to hear.
You know what would have been really fucking funny?
Hmm.
If Yala had asked, you know what I really want? You to stop talking to me. That's it.
That's what she's been thinking most of this time. And then, no, like, literally, him holding her child over her head has made her very angry.
Yeah. But as he finishes that statement, he's just gonna lift up his hand and clasp it around her head, pressing his thumb into her forehead. And you're going... and you're just going to feel where his thumb's lying on your forehead, like somebody's putting a burn on you. And you're just gonna take one
Just doing the
simple...
rookie thing.
You're just gonna take one simple point of fire damage.
What? She's got fur. That's fucked up, man.
I
You guys
didn't
smell
say-
something burning?
No, she feels like it's burning. There's not actual burning.
Well, Nim doesn't see shit because Samson's in front of her. But also, still hiding.
And he's just gonna lift his thumb away. And without saying anything more to her, he's just gonna walk over to both of you. And he's just gonna do the same thing. And you're just gonna feel this burning in your head. And you're each gonna take that 1 point of damage.
Ah, yes, that's what Nim needs. Less help.
This is really worrying me.
Yeah, like, no.
Oh wait, hold up.
Huh?
Y'all pops a good berry.
Yeah, I'll pop a good berry too! Woo! We're all back in full health, baby!
Before he gets to Nim, though, Nim asks, what are you doing?
Making sure you hold up your end of the bargain. And then she's just gonna feel that little burning.
And before he does it, Nim asks, does this, like, hurt?
You'll find out.
Just a little.
Oh. Does it leave a mark on, like, her face?
You and Samson could look at each other to see if it does.
Yeah. Nim looks over at Samson and sees if it leaves a print.
And you see...
I'll do the same to Nim.
You recognize the symbol. It is very similar to the one that you saw on the back of the journal. Samson, of course, you've never seen the symbol before, but it's there, and then it kind of just disappears.
You put your, that was almost a calling card. You put your rune symbol on our forehead? Why not our hand? That's the Majin Buu symbol!
Wait, no, if you get rid of one of those lines and flip it around, it could be a Z.
Oh, you're right, man.
Alright, well, here we go!
No, but Nim did ask, you put, like, your symbol on our forehead? Why not our hand?
Because that's not nearly as fun. Besides, I wanted to make sure they were in a uniform spot.
And the hands
So-
wouldn't work?
Nope. Because the sword's going in there. As he just points to Nim's right arm.
I'm sorry?
Was that you or was that Nim? I don't see what's so confused.
Why is Nim holding the sword?
Does she ask? It'd be a weird thing for her to ask in the third person, so I don't know if she's actually saying it or not.
Why do I have to hold the sword? You have a person who literally... Why?
Because he's wearing Adam, and even if he wasn't, he doesn't have magical aptitude. It's going to make it more difficult to just jam a sword into his arm. You're easier.
Kella wants the sword.
I was going to seal it inside Celeste's arm, but he says amethyst. It's hard to keep track of that.
No, it's not.
I constantly call Shaylin Nim, and I constantly call Nim Shaylin. So your point exactly.
Personal challenge.
Leave me alone, chubby one. Meme on someone else. Anyway, I was going to seal the sword in Amethyst's arm because she has even more magical potential, but, well, kinda hard. Again, pulling out the pearl. You know, it doesn't really have feet anymore, so, no on that one, Chief. I didn't hear what you said.
No, I said, yes, because that's the only problem with that scenario.
Besides, you're not so much carrying it as it is, just sealed away. Basically like turning your arm into a one-item bag of holding.
Is it in there now?
No.
Okay.
He hasn't jammed that in your arm just yet.
Yeah, so Nim goes, that sounds painful. Is it painful? I decline.
And he's just gonna smile slowly.
That's the least comforting thing he's done.
Aside from everything else.
Pain is temporary. It goes away.
But emotional trauma lasts for a lifetime!
Well, I guess you're just gonna have to work through it, aren't you, kiddo?
You know, if I were a funny person, Nim would say I don't work through anything if you haven't noticed, but she's not.
To be honest, he'd probably just stare at you dead in the eye and say, and just repeat, I like a project. I'll be right back, I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, this is fun. Nim gets to make sword puns. If you get my point.
I don't.
Sad. Tragic. None of them are gonna be good. None of them. How you guys feeling?
Emotional?
Yeah.
Content.
But also you said Nim is family. That was so nice.
Yeah, no, I was definitely not expecting that to come out in front of everybody else. She was going to pull Zanzibar aside and be like, listen, asshat, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing it for them. And then that didn't happen, because
He wouldn't
she got
leave.
pressured into this.
But it's so Nim, fuck. She wants to ask, are you sure?
Are you sure? Most people don't like me,
Most
Mom
of my
like-
family... Wait, no, you're not my family, you like me!
Yeah, I thought that's not how family works. I thought you aren't supposed to like your family.
Oh my god, Nim's just like, so you don't like me? What are you talking about? I said I was doing, you're a family to me. But my family hates me! Oh god, that's gonna be it now, because Nim doesn't know what an actual family is.
Oh, Nim doesn't. She doesn't.
Oh no!
That's neither here nor there.
God, it feels
Wait,
like
so,
every time there's a sweet moment, somebody in the party just totally doesn't understand. It's like, wait, what? Why did you say something so horrible to me?
Fuck.
I
Misunderstanding.
love you. You're my everything. That is the meanest thing you've ever said.
Honestly, it's a better misunderstanding than Samson thinks.
Oh
thinking
my
that-
god, it's so much of a better misunderstanding than that whole shit show.
So,
Yeah.
well, Nim
That shit
doesn't.
show is the best, and you know it.
Well, Nim doesn't understand what a family is. She's heard about what family could be. It's just not hers.
Literally,
read
we
about it
talked
in
about family like the day
Yeah,
earlier this day.
yeah.
Yeah.